Today, I'm going to show you how to turn $3 worth of wood into a $50 project in under 20 minutes. So what I'm using for this project is half of a 2x6. 2x6 is about $6, $6.50. So this is $3 worth of wood. I went ahead and I planed it down so it's an inch thick, but you don't need to. You can leave it an inch and a half if you want to, but that's all you're going to need, 1/2 of a 2x6. So the first thing you need to do is figure out how big the bathtub is that you're making this for. Most bathtubs are about 30 inches wide on the inside from wall to wall. So what we're going to do here is we're going to measure 35 inches. Once this whole thing is completed, we'll have two stops at 29 inches apart from each other, so this whole thing can fit in between the bathtub with a little bit of wiggle room on each side, but not enough for this to fall off. And then from those stops we put in, you'll have 3 inches of overhang on each side. But for right now, you're gonna wanna make a mark at 35, and then you're gonna wanna make another mark at 36, and another mark at 37. Go ahead and cut those all out. So this is what your board looks like. First, you're gonna wanna find the center, and since ours is 35 inches long, it's gonna be 17.5 inches. Then you're gonna make a mark 3.5 inches on each side of that middle mark. I'm just gonna take my right angle here and I'm gonna start on that line on the 1 inch mark. So our line is now 1 inch down from the top. So now we've got this line here which is 1 inch away from the edge there, and then of course it's 3.5 inches from each side. Now we're gonna take our router with a 1/2 inch bit and we're gonna route that out. From the middle of the router to the edge is 1 3/4 inches. The reason you need to know that is because that's gonna tell us where to put our straight edge. So what I've done is I've marked my line here, like we've seen, and then I'm gonna measure 1 3/4 inches away from it on both ends, and then I'm gonna put my straight edge there. So you can see I already made those marks there, so they're 1 3/4 inches away. I'm just gonna line those up to those lines, and then I'm gonna clamp this whole thing to my table. So I'm just gonna take a little bit up at a time. The router bit's put up like 1/8 inch right now. Now just go ahead and move your router bit up a little bit. Keep going. You'll probably need to do 4 or 5 passes depending on how deep you want this to be. Make sure I'm up against the straight edge the whole time, and then I'm just gonna stop where the router bit hits that line. You could put a stop block on it if you want, but you don't need to if you think you can do it just freehand like this. Got it. All right, so we cut that. It's about 3/8 inches deep, maybe a tiny bit deeper, but not quite 1/2 inch. Maybe more like 5/16. Now we're gonna come 5 inches off that routed piece that we just did for the phone, make a mark. Now we're gonna mark 2.5 inches up, meeting that line we just made. So now this is 5 inches away from that routed phone section, and then it's 2.5 inches up from the bottom. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab a 3/4 inch Forstner bit, and we're gonna drill all the way through. Now go ahead and just kind of find the middle there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but find what you think is the middle. That's pretty good. Now you're gonna make another line 1/4 inch away from that center line on each side. Now just cut it out with a jigsaw. Now we're gonna take a 1/8 inch round over bit. We're gonna round the whole thing, including this and the center of this little wine cutout, but we're not gonna do the underside. Now we're gonna put 2 holes on each end for some little candles. These are 1.5 inches in diameter, so we're using 1.5 inch Forstner bit. We'll go 2 inches in from each side, 2 inches and 2 inches. Make those marks meet. That'll be where we drill the first hole, and you'll do the same thing on this other side. So these little candles and the Forstner bit are about the same thickness, so we're gonna stop once the top of our Forstner bit gets flush to the wood. That's how we know how deep we're gonna get it. Beautiful. So we're done with the top. We went with a more minimalist style. So you've got this whole section here. If you want to put a book, you want to put more wine, you want to put, more wine or maybe another bottle of wine. You could also put some wine here, I don't know. So now we're gonna leave that and we're gonna put legs on the back. So flip it over and then you're gonna measure 3 inches in from each side. In between these two lines is 29 inches, and the reason that we did that is because the width of the inside of our tub is 30 inches. So we'll have about a ½ inch of wiggle room on each side. It'll be snug, but not too snug. Right now, I'm just putting a little bit of glue on here, and I'm placing it on the inside of that line we just drew. Make sure you put it on the inside, that's very important. Then just put 2 brad nails in it. Now that we've got it put together, it's looking great. Underside, we're gonna give it a good old sand, and then we'll come back to you when it's time to stain, because that's the fun part. All right, guys, so while I'm staining this, I want to give a quick shout out to Maple Ridge Woodworking. Dalton from Maple Ridge Woodworking is actually one of my close friends, and he started a channel about a month ago, so make sure you go check him out, because he's got some awesome videos on there, as well as the project you're seeing us make right now. He challenged me because he didn't think I could make it better, so let us know if you guys think his video is better or ours, but definitely go show him some love. They're doing some awesome stuff over there, so give him a sub, but let's see how this looks in the tub. Just setting the ambiance for my fully clothed bath. Here it is, guys. Project, $3 build from one 2x6, 1/2 of a 2x6. I think it came out really great. You've got the 2 candle holders on each side here. Of course, the wine holder, and then the phone holder. And you can put whatever else on top of it, like a book on this open section here. But yeah, there it is. I really like the minimalist style of this. I like that when you take everything off, there's actually really not anything that goes up. There's no backing for the phone. There's nothing that goes up. So when you're putting this away, it's very easy to just take everything out and put up against a wall, against a shelf, whatever. I'm gonna sell this for $50 because it's made out of a pine 2x6. I see these go anywhere from $70 upwards of $100, $120 for some of the really nice ones. People are using walnut, hickory, ash. They're using some nicer wood. So obviously we're not gonna be charging that much. $50 is a great price for something that costs $3 in wood and took us 20 minutes to build. These things, I mean, once you get good at them, you can bash these out like crazy. So yeah, Bath Caddy, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. If you like that video, click right here to watch our most recent video. And if you don't want to watch that, you can watch another one right there.